Chef. No changes in the gods, so perfect mirror right here. Again, starting at the bottom, this time it's ArF and ArF, the best player of his team, seeing quite nicely the wild boars here, but will he be interested in them? We'll see soon enough, but he's going for a very fast build on the water. So he's going for the piggies and not interested in actually luring the boars, as he doesn't want any downtime in his villager production. And well, this is just a house and dock being built on kind of blind spot, but it should be okay, although I would prefer it slightly to the left, but shouldn't be bad either. And really, with the way that he's going for it, this seems like you might be seeing a very fast advance from ArF. So let's wait for the dock to be built to actually see his spot. Just a few hit points, and well, it could have been better, but it's not really bad. It's not going to result in any problems for him whatsoever. And he's moving with storehouse to the left wood line, and that's going to be the front one, so that he can actually have the other one like this and this to run back to if he needs. The pocket for ArF is BZH, as the first Oranos. His map seems to be okay. Was this relic? Better building crush armor. Alright, that's quite nice. Otherwise, a lot of pigs at the back, some nice gold, and he is, as opposed to ArF, going for the wild boars, as they are a bit closer and he doesn't need to worry about luring them, thanks to the active release. His dock position is very sweet, 3 fish right next to it, so let's move to the last one from ArF, and that's Torgale, who is also gathering from the pigs. That I think is going to be a theme for all 3, or rather 4 Oranoses. Dock position is reasonably okay. It's positioned a bit more to the middle so that he can help his teammates slightly faster. But otherwise, what do we see? EC normal position covering gold, which is very nice, and it's actually naturally protected by this wood line, which is very curious indeed. And yeah, it actually makes for a very good protection. You just need to put a wall here with water, wall here, and you are reasonably safe to keep it from the opponents. This relic is favoritically, that's pretty sweet, and Temista is going so for some aggressive scouting, going into the middle together with his teammate Beast, who is playing a pocket for them. So they are interested in what their opponents are doing and what the map is looking like around them. Another relic is near the 30C of Temista himself, better unit line of sight, that's pretty great, although Torgale will be well aware of it and might be wanting to make an attempt for this kind of relic, because it's really pretty strong. But since it's too close to Temista, he might be in for it faster, especially with this very fast tempo. So yeah, that's pretty fast, sub 3. He might be switching into Jason very soon to gather some of the relics. His dock position is okay. He will be probably put in second dock around here, cover both those 3 spots. And for Beast, yep, it's on the promontory. Kinda funnily making his dock closer to Temista, probably hoping that he will protect him. But anyway, we'll see if that will happen. Drop in dock, position okayish, but he actually went for the chickens, which is slightly weird. Chickens, pigs, leaving the wild boars just for now, which should be slowing him down. Kinda interesting choice, but well, in the grand scheme of things, it shouldn't matter all the whole lot. Doc is being dropped, rather templed by Raccoon as well, the third from ReGen, and he's just about to finish with the gathering of his third boar, having quite a decent supply of pigs when he finishes. And this is going to be like 445 advance into Prometheus, which is not really all that fast for an Ati, so let's check out how is it looking with the others. 14% already for ArF into Hermes, 26% for the pocket BZH, and the last one 42% for Torgale. So it seems like Torgale will be the fastest. Yeah, just a few seconds before Beast. And well, Temista is actually the fastest quite a lot. So this is the reason for the fast dog. I was thinking he might be wanting to go for a Jason, but he isn't. Right now he's killing on this Oracle so that the Valor is not that powerful. But BZH is here. and he's waiting to make life difficult for Temista. But with the earliest advance here, and this Minotaur going for the dock, that might be kinda interesting. First boat is though out from the second dock at exactly the spot that was expected, and he will be going for what? Will he try to kill the oracles here? Seems he's actually with one trying to do so, and that means that Orgale's oracles are pretty much done here. And with the extra boats here and no need to actually go into attack with them, he will be free to defend against all the oracles. And this though leaves a bit of extra time for Torgil to build some extra ships, but since he's been slower and the Atti ships are weaker than Greek ships, yeah, he won't really be having any luck, and he better be careful here. But it seems like double is brewing as BZH is going to the right side as well, and it seems like Temista will be alone, and double will be from ReGens on the left side, as Beast is kinda not moving anywhere, but preparing to help Raccoon on the left side against Arafang. At the same time, though, Raccoon is moving in to protect his teammate Temista, who's just been shockwaved as he's been doubled, and this will leave basically Beast versus Arafang, which should be an interesting matchup, but kind of thinking Arafang will be happy about it. So Restoration has been gassed by Temista at pretty much the right spot, even though kinda late, as he still lost one of those ships. So I'm not exactly sure if he did all that he actually hoped. And you can see on the minimap there's a very nice trickle of green, and that's going to be standard Zeus shenanigans with the Pegasus to absorb some of the extra archer fire. Yeah, they are making an appearance. That should be a bit problematic because right now it seems like ARFs actually having an upper hand as beast fish or spots. God damn it, beast boats are not good enough. Well, Temista is in with at least a decent amount of boats, but it seems like he's not really going full front. Yeah, right now going for second TC, and with the amount of ships, I really was thinking he isn't going full water. If you look at the boats here, it's definitely clear, and he's interested in some early landing and to surprise his opponents, which should be a pretty good idea, because if he can make his opponents overcommit basically the same as we saw in the last game between .B and JSS, this could result in a very similar thing. So yeah, this is a proper battle, all three ARFs at one spot against two ReGens, whereas the third ReGen here just making an appearance from the back because he was interested in some raiding in the forefront. But will that be really enough? Right now he's just catching some reinforcements, which is not enough, but yeah, if this really continues without much change from Temista, this is going to result into some pretty bad loss on the water in a few minutes. Shouldn't be going really anywhere else, and well, at this point I would say that the strategy for ArF to overcome it could be quite right if it is the strategy. I think we'll find soon enough. So let's switch into the land to see what Temista is doing. He's just going to boom from the second TC. It doesn't seem he's interested in some land aggression. Just having the scout here waiting for the Willy. Not much interesting going on elsewhere. Bit of scouting and little Prometheans. So literally nothing. So let's return back to the water to see the huge amount of ships. Oh, huge amount of ships making an appearance in the battlefield. Together with a few Pegasi. Well, you can, I think, by yourself see where this battle is going. I'm thinking that Temista is giving up on the water altogether. Yeah, he's not even making something extra, and he's reaching for a 30C himself, so that's going to be pretty beastly. And, well, Torgil is trying to counter him, but he will be a bit too slow and discovered by Temista's Jason. So no, you're not getting this TC anytime soon. And, well, this is the first sign that aggression is coming in. And yep, here we have the stables. So we are not far from some serious aggression on Torgil's doorsteps. But he sees this and is preparing, and might be preparing for some advance as well himself. He will be soon running out of gold. But let's look at some of the other players, what their ideas about the game are. For example, Arafang already has armory, which means that he will be advancing into heroic pretty soon, as he probably recognized that the situation is pretty much done on the water and there's not going to be anything else interesting. Yeah, ArF just now closing in together with Thorgale on Raccoon's army, which is going to get slaughtered altogether, while on the top, ZH is killing the economy of Raccoon and Beast as well. So how's it about transition here? Raccoon is transitioning onto land as well, building some first units to be ready for the opponents, but will it be enough? So far, a Beast is just going for an extra TC, just being built, and military buildings only now, and well, ArF's second TC and Apollo right here. That's going to be pretty fast advance, 10 minutes, that's going to be 11-minute advance, that's pretty decent, and Themista is already with 3 TCs, trying to deny Thorgale his second, and he was definitely forced to go for the back one this time. So, military buildings being dropped at Themista's forward. And is he maybe somewhere advancing? No, he's opting for some classical age aggression with a bit of extra economy, and it seems like the map is pretty much in his favor on this, so it shouldn't be all that problematic. And unless he lets Thorgale build a huge army, he shouldn't be in a problem. But these Phillies are probably going for the TC, and he will be hoping that he can build it. Well, this little army can't really stop this. So no, that's not going to be a good idea from Themista, and this might mean that the TC will actually come up, which should be a slightly sloppy, I think, from Themista, as he should be really thinking about this TC all his game right now. So ArF through to Apollo, checking into Themista if he's maybe advancing as well, but we didn't see anything, any armor anywhere. So yeah, we are not expecting that. A bit of idols from Beast, which is not helping, but well, threat from ReGen. Raccoon is going for a back TC as well, and with the army for some nice raid in here, and he will discover some gold willies in the forefront before ArF was able to finish his wall. But at the same time, they are very close to the TC, so it shouldn't result in some serious downtime in gold gathering, and they are maybe going into the safe gold at the back. Yeah, waiting for the third TC to be built. Do we see actually some market being dropped? No, not yet, so he will be sticking to the heroic for a bit longer to actually stall what is happening there. At the same time, Themista find himself under double with VZH, a few army, but Thorgale have a quite a decent one, and that's a bit of a surprise to Themista, as he wasn't counting with this. And his military buildings are gonna get killed, at least this archery range, and I'm not sure if the military academy number 2 is going to survive either. Yeah, he just decided to kill it to save some of the resources, and hopes that he can actually somehow defend it near to his TC. He should be able to. These Phillies are kind of funnily placed here, just a bit of around the woods, and they will be in a danger. But that's not happening right now, and if you look fully at the minimap, you see a lot of purple dots coming right through the base of the pocket into the forefront. So I'm kind of thinking that VZH might be wanting to build some forward military bases himself, so that he doesn't have to run all day long from his base. So this is basically the Themista by himself, Beast having just a few units here, not really anything worth mentioning. And he is at least preparing some military buildings, so it will be proper 2 versus 2, without any problems whatsoever. So this battle is right now kinda stallish, with Thorgale trying to make his presence known with the extra military. So it's a pretty interesting battle, and let's switch to the left side, where Raccoon is definitely not giving up and trying to make life difficult for ArF as much as he can. But with the military academy being dropped here, and archery ranges, I'm impatiently looking where the market is going to be built, and here it is, which should result in mythical age pretty soon. Pretty soon indeed. So right now the battle is going on the right side, with everybody being at 3 TCs. Raccoon is just a bit slower, but he is already capturing it. Shouldn't be all that bad for him, as he is at H advancing into Thea. And will he have some military buildings anywhere close? Finally, he is establishing bit next to the TC, which good idea. And just quickly checking what's happening on the water. Not really anything interesting. And ArFs are definitely controlling everything there. Not finishing up with the docks, but that's kind of understandable, as it's not all that much needed. But, well, they are still there, and a few boats from Raccoon. Fortunately, hammer ships are not really going to go all that well against arrow ships here, so yeah, Arafang will have to do a bit better. But since Raccoon is not paying attention, maybe he won't need to. So fortifying TC, Hephaestus 50%. How's it looking with the battle? Themista, well, actually it's not going well for ArF here, as they somehow underestimated the power of the military buildings right next to the TC and fighting next to them. So right now it seems like Themista is having very near pop army, maybe even pop army here, and Beast seems to be having pretty much the same. So they better be careful, and this palace will be important. Since it's covered from the water, they shouldn't be having problems picking it up. Even though, yeah, a lot of hoplites here. Yeah, the extra fire would be costly for Themista, and let's look if he's advancing. Yeah, almost into Apollo. Almost into Apollo, and do we see some interesting line of sight? Or Gale is having one. Okay, so this will be pretty neat for Underworld Passage from Adafang, which I think will be coming pretty soon, because Adafang right now is not being threatened all that much. Well, Blue has just run through his walls, but it's not like this army can actually do anything about it. Yeah, you can see, that's pretty much the standard zones. Fortress, military buildings all along, with a few hypaspists, and I'm just waiting for more of the Colossi go into the back of ReGen's bases. But before that happens, Themista has been able to get around the woods here. Yeah, unfortunately for Torgale, he just dug through the forest himself. So yeah, that wasn't really the cleverest idea. And will the TC fall? It actually won't, because those two villagers were just enough to repair it. And well, he has to retreat for a bit. He has to retreat for a bit. But, well, this beachhead is established pretty strongly here. Pretty strongly, and even though Themista was having a pretty nice army, and Beast seems to be having a pretty decent one as well. Although I'm kinda thinking without any upgrades whatsoever. As opposed to the destroyers from BZH. Well, we are nearing a pretty interesting time. And here we have a Tartarian gate that was cast here. Near a lot of release from Themista, so it's a bit of a downtime in the food gathering, but at the same time release are pretty great in taking down buildings, so they should be reasonably okay getting rid of it, although those spawns will be a slight problem, which the Manticore should be dealing with. At the forefront, not much happening, but Underworld Passage is done, and yeah, it's going from Adafang. From kind of a forwardish position, I was expecting a bit farther, maybe somewhere here or here, but well, it isn't, and it's going right into Beast's heart. And there's going to be a lot of surprise here. Quite surprising, as Beast doesn't have anything, and it might be even before actually this happens. So yeah, let's see, and Themista going into Hephaestus himself, so will he be able to do something like Adafang? Pretty much the same here, we'll see soon enough. And let's quickly check how Adafang is right now defending his base, because yeah, it was pretty forwardish, and Raccoon definitely saw an opportunity to take it down, but he was a bit too slow, which results in the Underworld still staying. And well, TC is down before 45 TCs have been upgraded, and well, Adafang is not leaving anything to chance, and the forward base is being built, and there's absolutely nothing that they can do against this, especially Beast as an Ati. Well, he can't really help here. Right now we see that he's vortexing all his army, and was it actually any substantial one? Actually it was. That's quite a lot. I did not see all that much army on the right, so it's okay. And it was a very good vortex that should help him, together with a bit of army from Themista to defend against what's here. But if he concentrates all his fire on the Colossi, well, that will allow Adafang to build quite a lot here without any repercussions, and yeah, Beast has to be careful. Right now we recognize that that wasn't the greatest idea, and he's switching back, trying to stop Adafang from building the tower. But still, all those extra military academies are still present, and they are well in here in power, making life very difficult for the red player. At the same time, Adafang has to be careful, as he's under attack from Raccoon, who is slowly but surely trying to take down the Underworld Passage. Adafang having at least the baseline of upgrades right now, and well, this is quite interesting, because if Raccoon can engage enough army of Arafang in his home, he should be able to give Beast enough time to recapture the TC and somehow deal with what is happening here, as it's pretty threatening, and already Arafang have a gold Colossi. On the right side, Temista is right now pretty much alone against two players, against Torgale and his teammate BZH. They are doing pretty well, it seems, as they are having quite a lot of palaces, and well, Temista is responding in kind together with Beast, so it seems like this will result in kind of a stallish situation. I'm not really expecting anything else to be going on here, as yeah, we shouldn't be having, or rather seeing, any kind of push through here. So let's go back into the forward from Arafang, because that's right now the most important battle of them all. As this is just the battle about the TCs. If Arafang can keep ReGens out of those TCs, that will be the older advantage that he actually needs, and he might be able to hold by himself by the virtue of being the mythical Zeus. Two opponents on the left, both Oranos's Raccoon together with Beast, literally just by himself. But he better be careful about this, and he's actually opting to go for Toxotai, which is interesting. And well, some extra towers will help defend this nice Underworld. In his home base, it seems like Underworld though will die from the other side, so he will be left with just the villies that are here, and he's recognized that he needs to be careful, but still, he has pretty nice presence, and it should be more than enough to make life difficult for his opponents. And the Tartarian Gate being cast right into the middle of Torgale's base. Will it do anything? Well, I don't see any villies at all, and it's not even blocking trade route, so I'm kinda thinking it's not well cast. It could have been cast a lot better, and let's see if Torgale can actually build this Titan. Well, it's nicely protected from the god power, so he should be, and slowly, ArF are advancing on this side. It's still more or less stallish, but once this TC is down, it won't be anymore, and Temista will be in all kinds of troubles, because if this Titan is going this way, which I think it's probably going, that's going to be a very nice answer to all this building spam. So TC very close to getting down. Arafang still very much alive in the middle and having a lot of military buildings here, but does he have some villies? Actually no, it seems like he lost all the villies that were here. Or are they just hidden? Well, at least one is hidden here, so there is some possibility for some shenanigan. And he still has ceasefire, so he can potentially steal it if he wants. Well, on the left, that's a full-on battle here right now between Arafang sending all his villies into the line of fire. I'm not exactly sure if that's the best option, but well, it's happening, and he better be careful so that he doesn't bind all his armies on the top here, like it seems he is right now. So yeah, that's a bit of a radiant party on the TCs, not really all that successful, but here in the middle, Temista has been able to defend this TC, and well, right now he has quite a lot of Helepoli and a military advantage through the heavy Myrmidons. Not champions, but pretty decent upgrades lining up, and all the buildings here are getting killed through the very nice attack of the Helepoli. But Titan is 85% up and will be soon coming into the battlefield, and it might be all it actually takes for ArF to push through here, definitely. Beast is fully with Temista here on the right, but fully. He's still having to deal with a bit of a nuisance in his base, as he still hasn't killed anything from these buildings, so that leaves Arafang actually keeping him off the TC. And in his base he's having all kinds of trouble actually defending here, which is slightly curious. How's it looking with upgrades? Pretty decent one from Raccoon. And everybody in Mythic, of course, at 22 minutes. And a very good job here, and Arafang actually resorts to tower spamming, as he recognizes that the position that he has here is not really all that strong. And at the same time, he wants to somehow concentrate on what he has in the attack here. Maybe he could switch into the Myrmidons, it would be slightly better for the attack against the Attis, but still, all those Arcuses are a pretty good choice by Beast to deal with the problems here. Another Titan Gate has been dropped by Blue this time, so that's for ReGen. But this first one this first one is already making life interesting for the yellow player, although he's already pretty low in life, which is mainly due to those Helepoli, as they have pretty insane attack against the Titan. And it almost seems like Torgale is not doing the right thing. He should be going for the TCs and the buildings, not really fighting units that should be left to the Arcoses here. And well, right now realizing his mistake in this and trying to get through, quite possibly. So the archers doing their job, the Arcoses, and this is the opportunity for ArF definitely to take the forward base again, make it happen, advance further, slowly but surely. Pretty decent upgrades, and we have another Titan gate being built by green and purple. And well, why not when green is actually not threatening his home base? This is not really a huge threat, even though you shouldn't underestimate it, as Raccoon is meaning business quite seriously, dropping palaces as he goes, having very decent upgrades and a pretty good army here altogether, and starting with some extra siege. But how's it looking here? Finally Beast is paying attention and is trying to clear Arafang altogether, but just as I said that, he's moving somewhere else. Come on, you need to finish this, you can't really leave this here as a threat. It really is a threat from Arafang. And well, with just one Willy building the DC, you could also use some extra help in it to build faster and have the pop faster to help your teammate and stuff. But it's just lost a third DC, so he will be having a bit of a harder time. Half-Life Titan is still pretty strong, and we still have Bolt here from Arafang, so if he goes 1v1 with the Titan from Raccoon, he should be winning quite easily. So Vortex from Beast has been cast to help his teammate finally. That's a pretty decent army, which should result in somehow stalling the advance of his opponents, who are employing, yeah, good old tower spam. But at the same time, I'm not really thinking that they have enough to actually somehow capture the TC and make the advantage in the population limit be known. At the same time, we see a bit of shenanigans from Arafang here, trying to kill everything. Man of War getting killed. That was a free one, so no worries. And BZH has landed. BZH has landed. Unfortunately for ArF, Raccoon is just running around here, but not noticing. Yeah, I absolutely missed it. Absolutely missed it. And that means that Amistas Odysseus is the only one who is guarding the home. Well, not anymore, and this palace could prove pretty important, because this gold mine will be disrupted, and what is more, the trade route is being disrupted there. So Titan will be coming up soon. First though will be from Arafang. And that means that I think, yeah, all the Titans are being dropped. The only one without the Titan so far is Themista. So once the Cerberus jumps out of his hole, we're gonna have a look at the right side, where Beast is doing all he can with a bit of Chairo Ballistae, without any upgrades whatsoever, unfortunately for him. And how's it looking with the melee units? Yeah, that's a pretty good, decent one, so no problem at there. Titan's still making his presence count. The tower spam is pretty much real, and it's basically the best bet for ArF right now to somehow keep the mist out of the TC, because they can't really build it at this point. I think there's still enough extra fire and enough units to make them stop. So this is basically just preparing the situation for when the Titan is down, so that they can capitalize on the position that they have fought for so long. A bit of Willies from Red. I was kinda thinking that he might be ready in some forward base, but he isn't. And yeah, Arafang still defending, it seems like, very easily here, being popped right now due to the Titan, and he's moving forward to make his 1v1 fight against this guy. At the same time, the purple Titan is finished as well, and he might be going into the right side also to help his own army of purple and teal. Yeah, this is going to be a 1v1 with the usage of bolts, so that should be very easily going for Arafang. Yep, here's the bolt, and even though he took the first slash, wasn't really all that bad, but with all those extra Arcuses here, It could actually turn very sour for ArF if Raccoon does do well with his micro. He seems to be doing quite well so far. And Wonder is here from ArF, so yeah, that's kind of the reason why they wanted Supremacy, having the back door open. But I'm thinking at this point that they don't really need it. It's just confirming their position, because this 30C from Themista is at this point lost, as the Titan is not coming. And Beast's Titan is very slow, just 40%, Themista have been none, and right now he's just getting wrecked. So he can't really stand against two opponents at the same time. And Beast, well, he's not having really a good presence here at all. He's right now trying to defend his own base, as ArF is cleverly using his Titan to kill Titan Gate from red, which he will without any problems, and he should be taking down the Titan to got some quite reasonable health. And actually the second Titan is going to the left as well. Well, he isn't, as he's actually blocked. Yeah, he has no way through, it seems. So BZH has to be careful here. Has no going through for you. PC build, advantage going for Torgel with 40 Cs and Themista right now being at 2. Yeah, that's not the best scenario, and the game seems to be going for the French team at this point. Nice palaces being built so that they support their presence on the map. Well, with all the Arcuses here, they just think that they are very safe indeed, and Torgel is just retreating with his Titan to go back to his home base, because he is regenerating as he sees due to the special research from the Ati Oranos. And we actually have a double. They're not leaving anything to chance ARS. So that's a second wonder from right now to BZH, and I'm just waiting when ArF will actually build one himself. The battle here is just as stalled as can be. It's not moving anywhere at all. And still, these buildings are biting ARFs, or rather ReGens. You can see a bit of raiding here from ArF still happening. And GG is being called as Themista has resigned. This position is kinda not really going to change anytime soon, and he's just waiting for King Beast and Raccoon to resign as well. So pretty good job by ArF and winning 1-0 on the Mediterranean here. And they didn't even need the wonders. Yeah, just a bit of almost dead Titans fighting, with Raccoon surviving, but not the game itself. GG. So we're heading into the post game. With ArF being the MVP, I think we can all agree on, but the right side was doing pretty well. Both ARFs on the right, Torgel and BZH, definitely knew what they were doing. And well, they were simply better than Themista with Beast. Pretty good research count from ArF here at the end. And not even 116 heavy myrmidons could change the turn or turn the tide of the game. Well, what the hell? 13,000 gold for BZH at the end. Oh well, somebody overdid something. Okay, GG then.